Once scientists perfect nanotechnology, gene therapy, and mind uploading, we'll live a whole lot longer. But what do we do now if we want to live to see that future? There's really just one thing that might give us that chance at immortality. It's a long shot, and it's expensive, and no one really knows if it will even work. It's something called cryonic preservation.
Cryonics is the idea that you can take somebody who's dying and freeze them in the hope that future medicine will be advanced enough to both treat whatever they were dying of and the damage they got from the cryonic suspension.
It sounds crazy, and many people think it is, but it's kind of like playing the lottery. The upside would be huge. Of course, that doesn't mean there might not be some major issues facing you, even if you hit that jackpot.
One of the huge problems of waking up in 150 years, regardless of how intact or unintact your body is that things will be so different. It's going to be very difficult to acclimate.
You'd be revived into a completely alien world. The question is, what would they do with you? Would they put you in a zoo? Would they look after you? And how would you feel?
Yes, no thank you, not for me.
A letter to a British judge from a teenage girl suffering from cancer was heartbreaking. I'm only 14 years old and I don't want to die, but I know I'm going to die. I think being cryopreserved gives me a chance to be cured and woken up, even in hundreds of years' time. After consulting with her family, the judge agreed.
In this particular case, a young girl wanted to have a cryonic suspension because she was 14 years old and dying of cancer. Unfortunately, her father disagreed, so it ended up a court case, which caused a bit of attention when the judge found that, yes, of course, she is allowed to be suspended.
She was very pleased with the decision to allow her to be cryopreserved, which gave her great comfort in the last days of her life.
Who can blame the poor girl for wanting one more shot at life? Of course, cryonics has many skeptics. They're part of a non-profit organization called Cryonics UK, dedicated to preparing the recently deceased who desire it for cryonic preservation.
I heard that there were people who were interested in cryonics, so I went with my family just to find out more.
These guys aren't speculating. What you're seeing here is just a test run for the real thing.
Once you get past the cooling down stage, they then go into surgery where you wash the blood out, replace it with the antifreeze. After that, it goes into the body bag and into the dry ice cooler.
And some people opt to have their whole bodies preserved, and some people just simply opt to have their heads preserved. That's where your memories are, and that's where you are as a person.
Your cryonics society filed for bankruptcy yesterday, and they were all set to move you out into the street.
It's about a man who's cryogenically frozen. He comes back, and he's a head in a jar.
Even if the body could be revived, it's a separate question whether the brain's memories would be revived.
Do this to me. It's all right. Don't put me in here.
Whether you would be the same person or not at all.
It's a little bit exciting and a little bit terrifying. You can either give in.
So I think that might have had something to... I suppose we are playing God, but so what? I just want to be live.